Hey YouTube, welcome back to another great video. Today we're going to show you a new tool that we just picked up. Some of you may know, we do a lot of assembly here in our shop. We put together a lot of PVC assemblies and we build a lot of custom things in here. So we needed a solution. We needed something that allowed us to easily cut pipe. And what we also, obviously like PVC pipe or something is easy to cut, but we also wanted something that provided a relatively clean cut, reliable, consistent, and also didn't make a very big mess. So before we were using this, give you a little background, we were just using like a skill saw or some other type of saw, like a miter saw, to cut our PVC, and you'd get shavings all over the place. And so it just wasn't great. And then when you're cutting larger pipe, if you're using the, well, one second, I'm gonna grab it. All right, so as I was saying, when you get into bigger pipes, you can't really use this type of a cutter. This type of a cutter is really handy and works really well for smaller cuts. One thing I don't like about this type of a cut is your cuts are always going to be angled one way or the other. It's hard to get a really flush cut that's going to sit level, but they work good in a pinch, and you know, in most cases having a flush cut's not critical, but this new tool we bought is awesome. So we're going to show you. This can cut, it has a number of different blades that can be attached to it, so it can cut stainless steel, it can cut PVC, and it does a displacement wheel cut. So let's throw some material in here and just show you guys how it works. Okay, so this machine is run off of a foot pedal, so it's just simple push the pedal and it's on or off. And then what you'll want to do is you put your pipe in here, and then you get your height set, so you tighten this down to right where the blade comes in contact with the pipe. And then you're going to want to keep a consistent amount of pressure on it as it's going around, and it seems to cut real nice, so let's give it a go. Now this pipe's only about 5 feet long, so I'm not going to use the secondary support, but if you're cutting really long pipe, you could put supports out there if you needed them. So you can see that cut. In my opinion, that is a phenomenal cut. I mean, super clean, super quick. I could have probably gone just a little bit quicker. So the trade-off with this is the faster you go, the more force you have to put down, and the quicker you're going to run through your blades. Now obviously on PVC you're not going to be running through the blades very quickly because it's a relatively soft material, and I think that more applies to stainless steel or some of the harder materials. But definitely can't say enough about how clean that cut is, how nice and straight and level it is, and how easy that was. All right, so we had, like I said, there's different blades for it. So we've got the PVC blade on now, so we're gonna take that off. There we go. Come on, there we go. So the blades switch out really quickly. And now if you notice, these are not perfectly centered, and it's so that the blade can only go on one way and lock in. If I try to put this in backwards, it just doesn't lock in and go all the way in. So that's kind of a nice feature, is that it's kind of dummy proof, and that works good for me. So this is the PVC blade. You can see it's extremely thin, like razor thin. Not very suited for hard materials, but works really well for the PVC. So this is their hardest blade that they have. This is for the stainless steel. I mean, there is a huge difference in the thickness and the profile of those. So I thought that was pretty interesting. This one's quite a bit heavier, obviously a lot more metal to it. So let's put this on and try that on some of this other copper and stainless steel pipe that I pulled out for us to cut, and just see how well it works. I guess what we'll start with is I'll throw this copper pipe in here, and we'll see how well this blade. Now they do have a blade intended for copper. We don't cut a ton of copper here, so I didn't actually buy that blade, but I imagine this blade should work just as well. Maybe not as well, but should work. So let's give it a go. So a pretty nice cut, even semi-beveled, you can see there, or I'm imagining you can see there, but it got through that pretty quickly. I would compare that to probably as quick as using a hand wheel. Now if I had to do 150 of these in a day, I'd probably rather use the mechanized version. So now we've got some nice thick, I believe this is Schedule 80 stainless steel. So let's just see how this machine holds up against this thick stuff here. Huh. We're not quite all the way through yet. That's pretty surprising. Really having to give it a go on there. Whoa. Trigger happy. So it's not working real well on this extremely thick Schedule 80 pipe. It's just got so much displacement that it's got to do, but it definitely made quite an impact. And I would say that on thinner walled pipe, this thing's going to work really well, just like it did on this copper or other side. But with this thicker Schedule 80 stuff, I don't know if we're going to be able to get it to go all the way through. And look at that groove. That's very interesting. Now I wish I had, we normally in the shop we use Schedule 10 or Schedule 40. I think that either one of those would probably have been long through by now. But let's just see if we can get all the way through. I think that, yeah, we can go farther. So let's try to go farther, see what happens. I don't think we're gonna do it, because I think all that's happening is we're just making that groove bigger. So as far as cutting this really thick pipe that's stainless, I don't think it's going to work great. I think that would eat our blades up pretty bad if we had to do that very often. All right, well, thanks for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed checking out our new shop tool. We did see how awesome it worked on PVC material and how well it probably would have worked on some thinner walled stainless steel. Unfortunately, I didn't have any lying around to show you guys, but I have used it before for that and it works pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with this purchase. We bought this thing online. I can't exactly remember where, but it's available online. It's an REMS Cento, C-E-N-T-O. Really cool unit, good price, really happy with the performance, so just wanted to share that with everybody. I know that sometimes folks are looking for new ways of doing things, so hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We look forward to any comments you have. We'll see you next time.